don't you think it's kind of funny how the zombie picture in this intro screen looks like a fucking orangutan? Alright, let's start this awful piece of shit. The first half of the game is played as Barry, who is on a search for Leon, whom disappeared shortly after embarking on a mission to investigate the Starlight, a zombie-infested cruise ship. See, this is probably one of the goriest Game Boy Color games, and in the true style of Resident Evil, that's how it should be, so I'm actually surprised that they have blood and everything in this game, because you would figure it's Nintendo, so they'd take that out, but they didn't. In the second half of the game, we get the entrance of Lucia, who is the main burden in the game. She's the girl that Barry has to protect. But we also eventually will meet up with Leon, so we will have a party of 3 characters. Lucia only gets really like 1 or 2 hits before she's dead. But Leon and Barry are definitely equals, and so it's nice to have 2 characters that you can switch between if one of them is hurt, but other than that, there's not really a point to it. Each character is allowed an inventory of weapons. Really, the main difference between each weapon is the hit bar, and also they do different amounts of damage, but nothing really to write home about. If I hold the A button and I have ammo, I can extend my cursor out and shoot a zombie. Now if I shoot a zombie, what it does is it initiates combat at range, meaning the zombie does not have the opportunity to hit me right away. However, I can attack the zombie. Now, in order to attack the zombie, you can see this bar zooming back and forth. I have to try and get it in between these 2 white bars in order to get a headshot. In addition, if I hit these white bars, it will target the zombie in an area besides the head, dealing way less damage. Why? Wouldn't it be way more fun if you could just target the zombies using the A button and shoot them using the B button? Wouldn't it offer you way more strategies? Wouldn't it be way more true to the Resident Evil gameplay if that were the case, rather than the shitty-ass combat this game offers you? The overworld gameplay is very good. It's very true to the Resident Evil games, where you can run around, use key items, find things, and explore, but when it comes to the combat, it's where it really just takes it in the ass. The combat is not good at all. Honestly, in this game, the key items are another major problem, because unlike the classic Resident Evil games, that being Resident Evil 1 through 3, whenever you would approach a door or a place of interest that required a key item, it would give you some kind of clue as to which key item you needed. That is not the case with this game. You need to pay attention to what the characters say and assume that one of the key items you find are going to be important in the progression of your game. Now, you have to examine the items as well, like you do in the classic Resident Evil games. However, it's way more cryptic to figure out what item is useful for what. Some of the zombies carry key items, so in order to find certain key items, you have to run around and kill zombies, hoping they'll drop the item that you need. Now that is just a load of crap. I mean, could the Game Boy not handle them placing items around the map that you have to look for and find? That's certainly not the case, because there's areas of the game where you do not see the items, but if you approach a corner or a certain part of the map, there'll be a little green exclamation point, and that means that you can pick up an item that is located there, even though it's not visible to you. I just got a key item. Now, I just happen to know that that key card I just picked up off of a zombie is useful in this lock a door down here. Now, I'll show you how this works really quick. See, it's locked. I hit the action button to try to open the door. Nothing happens. So I go into my inventory screen. And now, the door did not give me any hint on what opens it. But if you examine this card, it says that it's a security room card. And if you pay attention to what Barry says, he needs to get to the security room, which is highlighted on the map when you check it out. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the card, and it opens the door. See, the door is now able to be passed through. As you can see here, these are crowbar-wielding zombies, and this is probably the first Resident Evil game to really incorporate zombies using weapons. The later Resident Evil games to do the same would be Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 6 has weapon-wielding zombies as well. But this is the game where they probably very first appeared, which at the time was an original and interesting idea. While on a mission to save the mysterious girl, Lucia, we will encounter, for the first time, this game's version of the Tyrant. Now, like the other Resident Evil games, this creature is the final boss, and you encounter it several times throughout. Unfortunately, right now, I only seem to have ammo for my gun, and also my fucking, just my gun. So I'm probably gonna get killed. Oh, nope, I beat him. So the BOW dissolves into an amoeba-like form, then it disappears rapidly into the shadows. Oh no. So I'm gonna stop the video right there because I could talk all day about the things that are wrong with this game. For example, spoiler alert, the girl is actually the BOW. Spoiler alert, she's never mentioned in Resident Evil Revelations 2, even though Barry takes her home as his daughter, adopted daughter, and what's her name, the girl you play as in Revelations 2, shoots her sister. So it's like this game didn't even happen in the timeline of Resident Evil. Now, I'm a hardcore Resident Evil fan, and with that being said, I bought this game and I shouldn't have. I mean, I shouldn't have played it, but I did anyway. And really, I shouldn't have repurchased the game for my collection, because as a kid, I got tired of it really fast after I beat it and traded it in eventually. And as an adult, I look back at it now that it's kind of a more obscure, rare game, and remembered it, and I decided to buy it so that I could have every Resident Evil game. And I shouldn't have done that either, because the game is just fucking awful. Enough said.